We continue discussion of set theory. Now let us see what we can do. Here we see a function f from a to b is denoted by this diagram. You can see 1 goes to a, 2 goes to c, 3 goes to a, 4 goes to b. So the function f is 1a, 2c, 3a, 4b. You can see 1 and 3, two elements go to the same element A, many 1, and there is nobody in B without pre-image. So on 2. So this is many 1 on 2. But you can see there is no inverse. No inverse because if you move from B to A, image of A is 1, image of A is 3. So same A brings two images 1 and 3. So there is no inverse. I can see A to be G. 1 goes to A, 2 goes to A, 3 goes to B, 4 goes to C, and C is there without any pre-image. This is many 1 into, because of C it is into. There is no inverse function. Now you can see this is the graph of a function. A vertical line will cut only at one point. Now this is not a function because a vertical line cuts at 2 points. So for the same value of x, you get two values of y. So it is not the graph of a function. Now for example, if y equals fx equals x squared, x is 2 means y is 4. X is minus 2 also means y is 4. So this is many 1 function. And you know the graph of this y equals x squared is coming like this about the y-axis. The graph will be, this will be the graph of y equals x squared. A vertical line will cut only at one point. Now we consider some functions, examples. 1. The identity function f of x equals y equals x. You can see the graph of this function y equals x is a straight line making 45 degrees with the x-axis. Now, domain of that function is the set of real numbers R, because x values can go from minus infinity to plus infinity, and range also from minus infinity to plus infinity. Y values will go from minus infinity to plus infinity. This is 1, 1 on 2. Inverse is itself. Inverse of this function is itself. Now here is one important idea. This is the identity function. This is a function y equals fx. Now if you take the reflection, y equals f minus 1x comes. So it is the reflection of y equals fx on y equals x. Now if you take this as a mirror, you will see the reflection comes, and that will be the inverse function. So always, for any function, the inverse is simply the reflection on this identity function mark y equals x. On this graph, you will see the reflection comes. Now, constant function, second one. F of x equals y equals c. So you see y value is always c. Means this is c, this is c, this is c. So we see y equals c. The domain of this function is minus infinity to plus infinity, but the range is simply c. So the range of the function is the singleton set c. There is no inverse for this function. So for the constant function, there is no inverse. Now we consider function, polynomial function. F of x equals y equals a naught plus a1x plus a2x squared plus etc. plus an x raised to n, where n is a natural number, n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. is a polynomial function. Degree of the polynomial is the degree of the highest degree term. This is n. So degree of this polynomial is n. For example, f of x equals 4x cubed minus 3x plus 5. G of x equals minus 3x raised to 4 plus 7x cubed minus 1, etc. Fx is a polynomial of degree 3. Gx is a polynomial of degree 4. Now, domain of such functions is always R, the set of all real numbers. Y equals ax square plus bx plus c. This is second degree, is a quadratic, means second degree function with a graph of a parabola. Now, y equals ax square plus bx plus c. The graph will be like this if a is greater than 0. So, the graph will be like this, and so on. Now, if a is negative, the graph will be downward parabola. This is a downward parabola. This is an upward parabola. Now, in this case, there is a minimum value of y. Now, this will be the minimum value of y. Minimum y. And this will be maximum y. So, understand, in the case of an upward parabola, there is a minimum. Maximum is infinity. For a downward parabola, there is a maximum. Minimum is minus of infinity. So this is an important graph to be discussed. We will do more problems later. We consider more examples. Y equals x cubed. You know, to draw the graph, we have to take points. X values 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. Y values 0, 1, 8, minus 1, minus 8. Because cube of 0, 0 cube, 1 cube, 2 cube, minus 1 the whole cube, minus 2 the whole cube. You plot these points 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 8, etc. You can see 0, 0 is here, 1, 1 is here, 2, 8 is here, minus 1 is here, minus 2, minus 8. You see the graph is coming. So that is the graph of y equals s cubed. The domain of the function, x values is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Y value is also from minus infinity to plus infinity. So domain is real number set R equals rate. Now we go to 4, rational function. Now rational function is a function of the form fx divided by gx, where gx is not 0. You know the denominator cannot be 0. Where f and g are polynomial functions. 5 is modulus function. Fx equals x if x is greater than or equal to 0. Fx equals minus x if x is less than 0. You can see if x is greater than or equal to 0, y is x. If x is less than 0, y is minus x. This is the graph of the modulus function. We may write fx equals modulus x. There is no inverse for this function, because you can see for different values of x, you get the same value of y. X is 3, x is minus 3, y is always modulus, so it is 3. Now, range of f is 0 infinity, because the values of y will go from 0 to infinity only. Domain is, of course, minus infinity to infinity. Now, this is an important function. Signum function. S-I-G-N-U-M. Signum function. So, definition. Y equals fx equals 1 if x is greater than 0. 0 if x is 0. Minus 1 if x is less than 0. You can see the graph is coming. When x is 0, the value of y is 0. When x is more than 0, because this side, y is 1. You see the left, y is 1. X is less than 0, y is minus 1. Now, domain of the function, you can see the x values, the whole of the real axis, it is R. And range, set of points taken by y. Y is 0, or y is 1, or y is minus 1. So, the range of the function is the set minus 1, 0, 1. There is no inverse for this function. So understand, modulus fx. Fx equals modulus x. There is no inverse. The signum function, there is no inverse. Now we will continue. And now we hope that we can finish the lessons by this time.
and wish you all success. Make sure that you pass the message over to your friends so that all will be benefited. Thank you for attending my lesson. Best of luck.